Hey guys, a little video here that's not a shave. Just wanted to inform those of you guys who are curious about why I haven't been putting out too many videos over the last few months. At first, I thought that it was just me getting old. At the end of the day, because I'm a night shaver, often I'm just a little too weary. And when I'm shaving at the other location, I have a basin and I have to go back and forth and fetch water. I enjoy that, but it's a little bit more full of effort than having a sink conveniently located to you. I wanted to say that it's not the end of my channel at all by any means. It just may mean that my videos are not as frequent as they have been over the years. I haven't. It feels very strange to have this much stubble, as I've mentioned in a couple of the recent shaves that I've done. I've been several years with almost daily shaves, and so this is very strange. But we've got some kind of big reasons, and all of a sudden I realized that this weariness, it could be age. Workload comes into play, but this is also a very stressful time in my family's life and my life. We are getting a divorce. We've been married 27 years, and we don't take divorce lightly. We have spent years trying different things, trying different approaches, just trying to settle it without having to take it to that level. We've got kids, we know they'll be affected. Divorce affects us as well. We take it very seriously, and we've spent a lot of effort and time to try to avoid it. We do consider it a last resort. If you're in an abusive situation, that's different, but I think in general people should really think of it as a last resort. Because of that, we are selling this house. I've already got my rent-a-room that I will occasionally broadcast from, so at least that's already established. That's a known, but there, as you would imagine, are a lot of things that are up in the air. Moving, divorce, workload, those are coming into play. I really am grateful for you guys who have jumped in to check up on me. I think Ronnie, Alex Freedom, HD Shaves is another one that is kind enough to check in every once in a while. And other guys as well. I know Ronnie mentioned something recently. Warren is the one who I was speaking of just now. Thank you guys so much. In today's mental health kind of climate, I think it's great to have kind of a shaving brotherhood. Don't be afraid to chime in and check up on our friends, right? I'm grateful and honored for you guys to do that. Because of all these stressors, I'm often at the end of the day having a pipe out on the porch instead of shaving. And then because of my workload, I don't really have time to do both. I'm enjoying the pipe smoking quite a bit. I think I need that in my life right now. If I had a sink, then the shaving is also a therapeutic endeavor for sure, and that's really one of the reasons I do it. If I had a sink and it was a little bit less work, I'd probably maybe try to alternate. The Nasset blade that I've got about 450 uses on, I have really wanted to step back into that and take it up to 500. The Lather Games are going on right now. As I make this, we're in the early days of June, and that's the month that we do the Lather Games over on a wet shaving subreddit on Reddit. My hope was to shave some with the Lather Games about 20 times with the Nasset before I got to the Lather Games, so that I could use the Nasset just like I did last year, all during the Lather Games, and culminate in 500 uses at the end of the Lather Games. But alas, it didn't happen. Hopefully, I'll get into more regular shaving. I will be posting videos, of course, but they will probably come a little bit less frequently. Not because I am shaving less, but because not because I'm shaving and not recording. It's easy the way I record because I don't edit the video afterwards. And so I just set the camera up and hit the button and I do my normal shave. The only thing that causes any extra work or delay is just me doing extra talking to you guys. And I really enjoy that. So I pretty much always do that. The Lather Games is an online shaving contest, a game where you follow themes for each day of June. Today's theme, I believe, was a soap or cream shaving product that is available at maybe a drugstore or a big box store. Williams used to fit that bill. I'm guessing you could use it today if you wanted to, but they did discontinue it, so it's not around too much anymore. Things like Cremo or Clubman does have a hard soap that they have put out, a Crope. Any of the gels, that are out can be used. That's just a for instance. Another day might be a soap that's older than you. Another day might be a winter soap. Another day might be a particular sponsored day of a vendor who is a faithful and prolific member of the group, like Barrister and Mann, Declaration Grooming, Southern Witchcrafts. Those guys participate in the wet shaving subreddit a lot. They answer a lot of questions. They are a lot of help. They, of course, advertise their products and listen to feedback from our group as they develop products. And so, of course, there's no reason not to give them a day and honor them in that way. And you can even join up in the Lather Games if you're interested. I know Greg is a YouTube viewer who is doing the Lather Games this year. Read a couple of his posts already. And he is participating from the start, but you don't have to do that. You can just jump in right away if you want. You could do it in a minimal way. You could only post 2 or 3 times if you wanted to and still be a part of it. You could just read the posts, even if you didn't make your own posts. You can participate in whatever level you feel comfortable with. You can make a different brush each day or a different razor each day in addition to the soaps. You could just match everything. There are daily challenges as well. And so you can participate at virtually no level or full tilt, and it's all for fun. Now, if you participate in it full tilt, you read all the rules, you look at the different things that get you points, and you accomplish those, then hopefully you got a good chance of getting a prize. And for the last 2 years, I've gotten some really cool prizes. I participated the last 3 years at least, and so I do miss that I'm not in it this year. But it was just too much to take on this year. I thought I would maybe participate at just the soap level, which is lower than I've done in the past, just looking at the themes and plotting out the soaps that I would use. But I just discovered with all this stuff that's going on, that was too much for me to take on. When I do find that I'm going to do a shave, I will look at the Lather Games schedule and see what was for that day. And then if I can look around and find a soap that matches, I'll definitely be doing that. I think I'm going to do that at least once this Lather Games, hopefully more than that. That's about it for my shaving announcements. I do plan on shaving regularly in the future, hopefully when this little time of life passes. But for now, the videos are just not going to come daily like they have normally been. Memorial Day was a recent holiday, a few uh, days ago. I originally recorded a draft of this video, but I discovered I had too many uhs and buts, because it was a stream of consciousness type video. I wrote down several things that I wanted to make sure I didn't forget, and I'm hopefully not doing as many but-uhs in this video. The way I celebrated it with my family, the way I honored it with my family, was to go to a local cemetery. We took some Dollar Tree American flags, and we wanted to find veterans' graves. In particular, we wanted to find and think about veterans' graves that were in need of some type of honoring, some type of decoration. And we did manage to find 9, and we left a flag there. As a part of the process, I've got a 10-year-old and 11-year-old to help them remember this day and what we are grateful for the servicemen and women who have gone before us. We had them, and we would also think of the name. We would look at the dates and try to figure out what war they might have been in. We'd see what service branch they were in, just talk about them briefly, and place a flag at their grave. Fortunately, it was difficult to find 9 graves at that particular cemetery that weren't decorated. That was a good problem to have. The one I found, and it was after quite a while of walking, was a first lieutenant, and her name was Margaret Williams, and she was in World War II in the Army Nurses Corps. And I placed a flag at her grave. She had some family nearby, at graves adjacent, not visiting family at the site, but the graves. She was buried in an area that her family was. A World War II veteran. I just took a moment to think about her and her family and what they could have gone through. And so that's what we did to honor Veterans Day. To you guys out there who are fellow veterans, thank you for what you've done, what you've been willing to do. You may not have laid down your life like we think about in Memorial Day, but you're willing to. And we get to have crazy online shaving games. We get to have rants online and in person with freedom of speech. We get to exercise all kinds of rights because there were people in our history who defended them. And I'm grateful for that. And so that's what my family did for Memorial Day. I reckon that's about it. It'll be tough to leave this house. We've been here the longest of any other house. That's a little bit sad as well. A lot of work to do, of course, in moving. But our kids have basically spent their entire lives here. So tough times ahead, emotionally, mentally. But we'll get through it. Come out the other side best we can. We're still amiable, and we're still a team to raise our kids as co-parents and do it as best we can. But we just have to do it separately. We tried our best not to have that come to happen, but it just didn't work out that way this time. We'll see you at the next shave. And I don't know if I'll take some clippers to my beard or just take a razor to it. We know in recent shaves that as long as you give them a good rinse, razors will still take off that first pass easily. All the best to you guys. Happy Memorial Day. Folks like Alex, Ronnie, Warren, HD, thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate that so much. Until next time, this is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Take care.